let's get the tweet out. Share to the Twitter. And we shall see who the first in the live chat is today. Now that's up and running, we pop over here and have a look at the market and our favorite stocks. Okay, we're still on the 5 minute there. Let's jump to the 1 minute. Just to look over and evaluate how the day is going. Good afternoon, Cassie. How's your day going? First in the chat. Oh. There's Paul. Afternoon, Paul. How's it going out in Buffalo? Cassie just barely beat you to be first in the chat today. So looking at it, you got a nice little 70-cent window on the day. For the most part, you know, we did start above the 1850 mark, ran down. You know, it's only touched a low of 1780 on the day. You know, like I said, a 70-cent window essentially using the strike price on last Friday's options, kind of as that upper level. It looks like it had established that on its own. So I wonder. Oh, you're doing great. Good to hear, Paul. I know we are warming up in northern Minnesota. So it was -8 when I was getting ready for work this morning, and we are currently 16 above. I'm looking forward to temperatures in the 30s this weekend and next week. I think Saturday and then Tuesday next week we're supposed to be in the 30s. So I am ready for winter to be over. So looking at it, if this trend continues into tomorrow, if 1850 continues to hold as a resistance level, granted it started above but it got pushed down, ran up, it's touched it twice. So right now 1850 is holding up as resistance. So we jump over to the option chain for this week. Just kind of having a look, seeing what money might be available out there. We know 1850 is holding up nicely. Well, if you were super risky, and this is nothing on here is financial advice, but definitely for you, Paul, definitely avoid this. If you were super risky, 1850 paying out $38 a premium per contract on covered calls. That's because it'd be real easy for AMC to catch a tailwind and run back up to $19 $19. That is super easy for AMC to do. I just was looking at the numbers earlier. Though 19, it has jumped up. You see the $19 strike price. We are above the 10,000 contract mark. Creeping up on 11.2 right now. The 20 mark still holding at 19,000 contracts. So yeah, I mentioned on Clay Bros briefly that I was looking at possibly getting in one last set of covered calls for the week. Looking at the 20s with that much armor, for lack of better terms, at 19,000, the hedgies. Hey Toad, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream, Toad. Haven't seen you in a minute. With 19,000 contracts, they are not going to want it to close above 20. So, there's no guarantees in the market, but this, if you're willing to risk it, $8 is $8. But with that much, with that many contracts, the hedgies not wanting to be in the money, that might be a safe bet. It might even be a little bit of a safe bet with how much momentum the $19 strike price has gotten, running up, finally hitting that fifth digit. Either playing the 19 if you're super risky, or a little bit safer, but if you believe the 19 will hold, $12 per contract. It's not much, but at this point, depending upon how many covered calls you enter into, that's what, 3/4 of a share. Good to be back. Been working lots of overtime. Well, we are glad you are back, Toad. It is definitely good to have you back in the live stream. I was in Clay Bros for just a little bit listening. Just the regular work day on my end also. So I didn't know who all was in Clay's live stream. But for those who were not there, I've been an official bro for 7 months. I got my Rainbow Ape today. Negative numbers. You were 65 degrees yesterday. This morning had snow flurries. Yeah, we're still getting the negative numbers here and there. They're a lot less, and they're only in the overnight. Bathing twins getting ready for bed. Yeah, it is. I can't remember if it's 7 hours. If you're 7 hours ahead or 8 hours ahead, I can't remember. It's currently 12:43 here in northern Minnesota. Oh, Riptide popped in. I didn't see Riptide come in. When I'm looking at it, because Paul and Riptide are just about the same length, and they're both blue names. So my apologies, Riptide. You got a little bit lost in there in the chat. Oh, thank you, Toad. I'm currently 1800 there. Yeah, 6 hour. Okay, 6 hour difference. I should almost write that down. Write it down, just because if I start streaming in the morning, I know the time period. That'll put it. If I stream before work, that'll put it at the pretty much midday for the UK. So in addition to all that, I ended up increasing my share count this week by 47 shares. I actually went back and looked. I know when I sent the chat in Clay Bros, I said 50 shares. I rounded to the nearest, but I went looking through, and it's right at 47 shares. It's fractional, because sometimes I didn't use limited orders on all of it, so sometimes I just ran in and said give me this set dollar amount and called it good. I wasn't worried too much about the share count, but I have closed out another brick. So I now have another brick available for if I decide, for doing covered calls. Bought this morning's dip. Yeah, Riptide, I got in on the dip this morning also. Ooh, here we go. Riptide bought April 1st calls on AMC at 18. Okay, we can definitely jump over, have a look at those. April 1st on 18. Okay, April 1st. So those are weekly, so there's not going to be as much crowd participation. You will notice a lot of times you'll see more contracts on the monthlies. Now, because of that, on the monthlies, you see a lot more contracts there that are further out. Ones that were purchased 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 6 months ago. You'll see a lot more contracts gathered up because of that. And that also gives you those hard battle lines that that we're talking about. When we hit the 5 digits. So you got the 18s, which are currently middle ground of 241 per contract. That's I certainly hope these work out for you. Keep in mind, every day you're holding these, looking at your theta, you are losing $4 of value per day. Just something to keep an eye on. That's not too bad of a theta right now. If it starts to move upward, as we get closer and the theta starts to ramp up, when this starts turning into $4, $5, $6 a day, that is that's when you really want to start seeing your gains. But if you compare your delta to your theta, a $1 upward movement changes your price by $58. So if we see a $2 run up in the next week, so 5 days worth of action, 4 5, we'll call it $26 worth of loss. Even just off a single dollar movement, you're still coming out 50% ahead, roughly, looking at just probably closer to 60% ahead, comparing your delta to your gamma, because as you approach a dollar up, you would be adding that in, and your gamma would be ramping up. You bought at 230. Okay, so 230. So yeah, you're currently up right now. You're already up. Oh, numbers. Yeah, looking about 5% up right now. So yeah, a little bit of gains right there. And it'd be definitely nice, AMC catches a nice tailwind, starts to run for you. That'll, yeah, those could definitely be good, especially if at any point we pop back over, looking where we are and looking at, you have an $18 strike price. And of course, this is me personally. If I saw a run up to 20 or 21, I would be tempted to exit those, depending upon how fast it went. We're talking in the next 2 weeks or so, just because it's, we're looking at it. That's a $2 run up. So of course, 58 and 58, that's 116. I'm doing rough math here. You're looking at about $123 to $125 profit on putting aside $230 buying. So yeah, you'd probably be looking at selling those. That would put those about $355 value on those contracts, depending upon how far they run, how long it takes, and gamma eating weight, or not gamma, theta eating weight your profits. Hoping for 1850 by end of day, and you'll sell. Yeah, that should 1850, yeah, you would probably at that point be looking at 15% profit. Yeah, nothing wrong. I've said it before. I will continue to try to drive this point home till everybody in the entire world knows it. No one has ever lost money taking profit. There's nothing wrong with taking profit. So yeah, if you can score yourself a good 15, even 20%, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're here for. And of course, me, I like taking my profit and rolling it into shares. Hey, Shredder, welcome to live stream, man. Look at all these wonderful apes in chat today. Small plays, quick and often. Yeah, so I don't know how much you've heard throughout the week. On the screen, of course, these are the covered calls that I entered into last Friday. Representation. I had a stop loss in place for a 30% loss. I ended up exiting those. I exited those at a 15% loss. So I actually saw the run up coming, realized my stop loss was going to trigger. I got in, exited before my stop loss could even trigger. So essentially, I preserved additional capital. I minimized my loss. I did turn around Tuesday morning and entered a new set of covered calls that I was not in for even. I was in for maybe 30 minutes at most. Real fast in and out, and I ended up getting enough profit to cover my losses from the previous covered calls and to pick up another just shy of 20 shares. So I was able to get in, get a quick score. I've been looking for another entry this week because of course, I've mentioned before, I prefer to be on the selling side of options, because the selling side, every day, three things can happen to a stock. It goes up, it goes down, it trades sideways. If you're the seller, 2 out of 3 are good for you. So I like being on the selling side. So yeah, I got in some covered calls, entered them, let them run a bit, and got out of them as quick as possible, and captured some profit, and turned around and bought shares with it. Bought Ford puts this morning and calls this afternoon. All right, let's have a look at Ford then. Challenge accepted. I am long on Ford. I believe you're long on Ford. Oh, well, if you got those puts right at opening, yeah, that was a nice little decline right there. Even if you held the red, and this is on the 1 minute, but saw those first green candles, green, red, green. Did we, how many green? Okay, so it was checkerboarding there for by checkerboarding, red, green, red, green, red, green, double reds. Yeah, anywhere in here that if I was doing the play at Monday morning quarterback, if I was doing the play and I saw that right there and saw the green start to step in and start to see it leveling off, that's where I would have exited my puts. If that is where you exited, that is exactly the play I would have exited also. As soon as I started seeing green candles coming in and seeing it level out, especially we can come down, it hit oversold. So MACD, looking at it, holding about the same width, right about there, what was your highest width, which matches up, and then it started to narrow. Right as it started to narrow, that is a good exit point right there. Pulled puts and flipped to calls at the bottom. So looking at it today, you are definitely doing better on your puts than... When you're saying bottom, are you talking all the way down to 1744? Because I would have actually exited early, just not giving anything away to theta. I mean, we're talking... That's 8 minutes after open. In the first 10 minutes, if you get out of those... So what do we got? 18... Yeah, we'll call it the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes, it was already starting on that little upward trend. And... Yes, we'll call it right about 1790. If you entered, even at the first minute, even the worst entry of the first minute was 1840. So you're looking right about 50 cents. And let's jump over, put side of the house. 50 cent differential. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we can go, give us a rough estimate, depending upon how far out. Were these... Did you purchase these for this day, or did you purchase them further out? Because the further out you purchase, the more of a swing you see in your numbers. So even next week, oh yeah, it was puts you started with. Yeah, that was a really, really good capture there. You were probably looking at 20 to 30% profit on those. Just rough eyeballing. I can lay down some technical analysis and some charting, but a lot of times I just rough eyeball it. It's just, it's faster, and if I see a move that I want to make quickly, if I'm on my phone, I can go on Webull on my phone and have a look at it, but... doing all the charting on the phone can be a little bit of a pain. It's better to be able to just eyeball it and, jump from Webull over to Robinhood where I do my options trading. Jump in there and make a trade quick. So learning how to read eyeball. Practice your charting. And when you get to the point where you can just eyeball and see the trade developing. It helps it to where you can get in faster, but it also is a lot of after hours research. I don't go nilly-willy looking for, let me just pick 3 stocks here, and if I see one that looks good, in pre-market, market's opening in 10 minutes, I'm looking like, these 3, any of these look good? No, if I'm going to enter in options, AMC, I will play AMC any hour of the day when the market's open, because I've done my homework on AMC. I've done homework upon homework, and it's one of those things to eyeball. If I'm entering options on a position that a stock I haven't gone into before, I don't like to just jump in without looking at it and seeing what's possible with it. Purchased some PROG shares yesterday, average $1.30, not doing so great. Hey, you got to tell my average on PROG is $1.61 a share. And I did cheekiness with 300 shares of PROG. The other day, after hours, I set 3 limit orders to sell. It was at like $1.35. So I put in an order for 100 shares to sell at $1.36, $1.37, $1.38. I did not see the price move, but all 3 filled. So it might be possible after hours to, if you're down for micro trade, making essentially, if you're doing like a $3 or $4 cent spread, you're looking at $3 or $4 when you're talking 100 shares. So it's not much, but it was comical because when I averaged down, I got in at 127. So the fact that I was selling it at 136, each one of those was worth more than $10 to me. So $10 is $10. Okay, so at 11. Yeah, so not too bad. It was on the downward trend, but at any moment it could have turned around, especially looking and seeing how narrow the MACD was. It's real narrow through here, and at 11, just a little bit after 11, you did get the cross on it. So yeah, that was very, very good timing. There are people who would talk about, I had the perfect trade, I got the perfect entry. Yeah, it does happen, but for the most part, just getting a good enough trade, just getting a good enough entry or exit that you're happy with. And of course, you could, a little bit better, and you get a little bit more money. But the fact is, you don't know when a little bit better is going to be. So if it's acceptable to you, yeah, have at it. I buy 3 weeks out, even if I intend on selling same day. Yeah, that is good because the thing is, especially the fact we are on a Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. That means the theta for this week is, theta ramps up as you get closer to expiration. So looking at it, you are losing 12, just going off the 18s right now, you are losing almost $13 of value a day on these. Now we'll go 3 weeks out. 18, you're losing $2 a day. So yeah, even if you held them for an additional day, you're only looking at a $4 loss to theta. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So yeah, playing further out, giving yourself time to be right. That is an important fundamental of options trading. If you are buying, you need time to be right. Ford seems to have a magnet on 18, so above or below, I play my calls or puts. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. If it would almost be worth if I had an extra $2,000, run out and grab 100 shares of Ford, and I would totally run the wheel on Ford. Not touch my long-term investment shares, but an additional 100 shares because I've got my regular ones that. Now that Ford has started paying a dividend again, I've got my regular dividend collector long-term investment shares, but I wouldn't mind picking up another 100 shares of Ford just to keep running the wheel on it week to week. And if it likes $18, if 18 is the magnet it likes to stick on, I would sell covered calls at $18.50, and I would sell cash secured puts at $17.50, and I would keep walking that high to low. Keep running covered calls. As soon as the covered calls get assigned, I would go ahead and switch over to selling cash secured puts and keep collecting that collateral, or keep collecting keep collecting that premium every week. And looking at it, it is not shabby at all. Because if you're running the wheel, you want to be playing a stock on the weekly. Now, keep in mind, there is risk for early assignment by people trying to capture dividends. I've got an entire list on... if anybody wants to timestamp it right now, I've got a list of... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, SLI down. You can build your own list if you're using Robinhood. You can do it on... I could go through here and I could actually build this exact same list on here. I have a watch list of 16 stocks, and these are weekly option, no dividend plays, which means the chances for early assignment due to people trying to capture dividends do not exist because they do not pay dividends. And so it is, and this is the list of 16 here: Airbnb, Bed Bath & Beyond, Nokia, Block, Marathon Digital, AMD, Neo, Plug Power, Snap, DraftKings, ChargePoint, Skills, Micron Technology, SoFi Technologies, Fisker, Uber, and that's the list right there. These are 16 stocks that are in fairly good shape. Last time I ran through and evaluated the list, 16 stocks that offer weekly dividends, or not weekly, weekly options contracts with no dividends. So that's kind of my safe list of stocks that I keep an eye on, and these are ones that I do the regular plays on. If I see something interesting pop in, these are ones that I enter into just to get that revolving income going. So yeah, start digging through, and the easiest way to find out is if you know the ticker symbol, just go to open up your Google browser and type in SQ. If you want to do block, SQ dividend, and you go to the Nasdaq.com. Okay, you can even go through. Get the Nasdaq app on your phone, and you can go through, and it'll tell you the dividend history of the stock. If it, when the last payout was, if it has dividends, and it'll tell you if it has no dividends. No dividends are safer plays for when doing options, just because the risk of early assignment due to people capturing dividends does not exist. So that is my 16 that I kind of keep an eye on. Other than I've got PROG, which I don't play options on anymore. I've got AMC. GameStop is on a different watch list. I got a separate watch list called gambling. There are additional ones, but they're I don't want to say risky. Well, they are a little bit riskier. You got into trading. 212 doesn't allow after hours trading. Yeah, well, for options, there are certain conditions that allow for after hours trading, but yeah, some of them just don't have normal trading to where you can type in buy 5 shares of AMC. A lot of them you have to put in a limit order and mark it for after hours. But if 212 does not have it built into their program to allow after hours trading, that is unfortunate because I entered the position this morning. I wanted, just in case we had the run up that was predicted by, I think that was Lou. Just in case we did have that run up when the market opened, I went ahead and limit ordered this morning and got my fill on 27 more shares. I got that fill this morning looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and limit order. I'm not going to chance the volatility at market open. I'm not going to chance, bandwagon jumpers who saw that and said, okay, it's going to run today, so let's all pile in buying. I got in before a potential feeding frenzy hit. Is AMC going to crash if MOAS doesn't occur on March 3rd? No, it is not. In fact, so I want to know from everybody in here, did I establish one of the most clickbaity titles ever for this video? That's what I was going for. I wanted, I always talk about, I try to tell it like it is, and I'm not into all the clickbait and stuff. But today, being March 3rd, I wanted the most clickbait title I could get. Where were you on March 3rd, 2022? Epic events unfolding. Look at the epicness of the market. Let's get back over onto the chart for AMC. Look at the epicness. And yeah, tomorrow, either tomorrow it's going to MOAS, or it's going to stay in a responsible market level, or it's going to penny. It's going to do one of those three things tomorrow. It's either going to have normal trading, or it's going to MOAS, or it's going to a penny tomorrow. Those are the predictions for tomorrow. If it goes down to a penny, I'm buying more. So just so y'all know. I didn't even notice. Just clicked on the alert you were live. Yeah, it's a good title. I wanted a clickbait title. I wanted people scrolling by. If anyone happens to see that and like, what? Something epic is going on, and they click in, they look at it, and they're looking like, all right, what's the epicness? And if there was a new person in here who didn't realize, and they would like play along, like, yeah, it's so great to be here on this monumentous event. Yeah, we're talking about. I'm looking at epic events unfolding. I am looking at AMC, and I'm looking to enter into some covered calls for. Click. I'm looking to enter into some. Is that today? I'm looking to enter into some covered calls at $20 strike price for $8 a premium. And as you said, Paul, let's get started. Yeah, it's they throw the sensationalist titles out there, and that's why I like Claybro's channel, because he Shib AMC Q&A. It's a simple title. I like to just have simple title questions. You look at it and it's like what were some of the ones I had on there? Buzzer beater is teaching tool ? And it was actually my fiance who came up with the idea of presenting the titles in the form of questions, which is absolutely brilliant. It's and it makes me, rather than just putting midday live stream and the date, or it's nice to be able to spice it up a bit. So yeah, it's but yeah, I'm wondering how these 20 or the 19s for $20, how that would hold up, because I would like to get one more set of covered calls in. Granted, if I could get in today and it dips down and I can exit and capture profit and maybe make another set tomorrow, I would not be opposed to 4 sets of covered calls in 1 week being closed out. Maybe I'm a little bit of a madman when it comes to it, but the numbers. You look at the numbers. You have to look at the risk you're willing to take, and with almost 11,000, with almost 11.2 worth of open contracts there. 19,000 at 20, that would be, in my eyes, for my trading style, this is a fairly safe bet for me to jump in. $8 for covered calls. If it runs up, tomorrow, the hedge funds, if we're getting close to 20, I could see them totally beating it back down to the 18 mark, just to get us away. And the thing is, if they push us down to 18 mark, they'd push us back down through the 19, which of course it would be a strong level. We're hitting that 5 digits again. Who is more unpopular among AMC apes? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. That is the only answer that I can give, is yes. They're both more unpopular. Speaking of, see, Toad, they saw you put that name. They saw you put the first name down. That is where that bot came from. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of have a look here. Oh, Tiamatic uploaded. So we got a bit of time left. Let's jump over. There we go. Paul got him. Yeah, skills is down. Nope, no real news. Charting, do we have the whole day? Yeah, we have the whole day. Just going to do a quick run through PROG. Narrow it up. PROG is still in that zone. Still hanging out in that sell zone. Anywhere through here is a sell zone if you're looking for buy prices below $1.10. And these are just these are just what I'm looking at, and of course, Toad, looking at your average. If your average is $1.30, you're sitting in this zone anyway. Your average is right in that sell zone, so you could almost use. And this is a little bit of charting that you can do, just kind of on your own. If you have access to Webull and you just want to lay it out, and everything. If you dropped your average in here, drop a line in at $1.30, right where your average is. Drop a line in, and just watch for PROG. If it moves above your average, well, that if you're looking to swing it, or just as far as keeping track of where to buy more. Because as long as you're below your average, you're buying at a discount and you're averaging down. There are all sorts of ways you can use charting like this. You can use charting just to watch your buy zones, to know where you want to buy at. Which is exactly the way I have mine set up. Because for me, PROG is a little bit of a swing. Yeah, I can jump over to call real quick at PROG. I like to swing. Well, this is my selling zone. This is my my buying zone. And when I did the 3 sells that I did the other day after hours, just to test it out, all of them were above this mark. They were all above the $1.35. Those were acceptable prices for me to exit, in my opinion. So yeah, we can jump over options. We are on calls. Any specific date or strike you wanted to look at, Toad? Boom goes Amy. Yeah, I see $18.45. I see in the corner. We'll jump over there in just a second, Tide. Toad, is there any specific thing you wanted to look for in PROG? So for this week, Toad, didn't you say, or was it someone else who had the 50-cent PROG calls for April? Was it? I know somebody had me look at PROG not too long ago for some farther out calls. Oh, Tide has PROG calls. Yeah, it's for PROG. I am in the shares. $2 strike price. What is your date, Toad? Because hopefully it is not. Yeah, Riptide's in April, the April 1st. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of April 1st lately. So yeah, that definitely goes with the trend. $1.50 and $2. We'll open up the April 1st. I'm still waiting on Toad's date. $1.50 and $2. Yeah, the great thing is with how low PROG's price is, your theta is so tiny. PROG, buying far out on PROG definitely gives you a lot of time. So Toad, did you have a date in mind on your PROG calls? April 1st also? Okay, cool. We can shut down the one day. So everybody's looking at April 1st. How about that for a goofy right there? Long on PROG as well. Yeah, a lot of people. I thought PROG would have ripped again long before now. It is. I expected PROG to go. Within 2 months of getting, I knew AMC was going to be a long play. I expected PROG to go a lot faster, just with everything that was going on. They already, they covered 33% already before I got in on it. They had that run up to 620. Oh, don't have any yet? Yeah, looking at it. So yeah, you're looking right about $9 to get the $1.50 strike price, and you're looking at $4. Chances are, depending upon your brokerage, they may round this out because of the low price of of the shares themselves. They may end up rounding this to $10 and $5. I'm far out too on PROG. So yeah, see, that's PROG definitely be a good long play. I would actually go, what are we looking at? 180. We'd maybe go September. 197 days out. I would maybe, I mean, look at that. 0.0012 theta. I'd maybe drop $100 and, or pick up 3 call contracts for $100 roughly, and having a theta at basically 12 cents a day starting out with a 58 delta and a 31 gamma. If it ran $1 or two, those would, it'd be printing huge. Price prediction for PROG is 23 by the end of the year. Well, I'm just going 6 months out, but let's. All right, we can look at January for next year. Let's see how the price looks there. See, for $100, you can get yourself 2 contracts at the $1.50 strike. $120 roughly to 2 contracts at the $1 strike. And these thetas, 0007 and 0009 on the thetas. God, my relationship with PROG is so checkered. It is just. But looking at the numbers, that is not a bad price, especially, all it would take is a 50-cent run in the next month, a return to $2, and it would still be printing pretty good. Yeah, that's the thing, the DD that you look at, I view the best DD that I see out there is all the stuff that Devil's Advocate researches. He is the PROG expert. He is the PROG ambassador. I trust his research. I trust his research. His research is good enough to where if he thinks the DD is correct, then I would follow that. I would follow his due diligence on that. From the research that he puts in on it. So I don't know who you saw the DD through, but if it was through Devil's Advocate, I would definitely I would definitely look for that to be as accurate as it could be. So now the question is, now that you've presented me with this, now the great thing is, these prices on PROG, as long as it hangs out around the $1.25 mark, the prices on these options, I've got time to, hey, DD214, welcome, man. Oh, why did I go to the tomorrows there? Okay, Amy Rib. Oh, see, again, it ran up. It's testing that 1850. This. I'm leaving this up here because I just want to see. I got out before my stop loss was triggered. I'm just curious to see if I didn't have a stop loss, how it would have played out the rest of the week. I'm not saying, don't play stop losses, because I will always try to have a stop loss on my position, but I'm just wondering how it would have played out. Because those were, I got 94, I got $94 worth of premium. I had my stop loss set to 120. I got out when it hit, I think $1.17, $1.18. But I saw the run coming, so I knew that it was going to blow right through the 120. And I think the highest I saw in there, it ran up, and it was up to 165, 170. Oh, Ben here, just busy with work. Hey, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Just hanging out and giving it a listen. And of course, yeah, I'm still, still, still looking at those covered calls for this week. I think if I enter in another set of covered calls on AMC, it would be tomorrow morning. I just want to see which direction it's going to jump. If it jumps and we get a good run up, get in fast on some narrow margin covered calls. If there's any value left at the 20, it would really have to run up tomorrow morning for the 20 to have a real value behind them. But with almost 11.2 at the 19 mark, if it's still hanging around $20, it might be worth it at that point. And each contract essentially turns into, each contract is an extra share at that point. And that's just kind of, that's how you go through slowly and build up a position. Unless you're Paul, and if Paul ever decided to run bold puts, that would be safer for him. But again, would need, it's all about capital preservation. And we only got a few minutes left, but I just want to kind of, because Paul, it is certainly a lot less stressful to risk $100 versus 100 shares. But looking at it, I think it was a 15/15/50s. Or even these. So you'd be looking at $50 of collateral for potentially $10 profit. So you would enter, if you're risking $100, you'd get $20 if you were right. And if you held all the way through. But a lot of my capital, see, everything I've already got, the share purchase I made this morning, that was everything that's not covered, not tied up in stop losses right now. So that's, because if I could have, I would have loved end of the week to pick up a whole bunch more shares. More shares mean more contracts. Oh, quick look at crypto. Litecoin is the only green one on here. Up 0.15. Yeah, Litecoin's up. Crypto needs to recover. They need to figure out what's going on. AMC pulled back a bit. Yeah, I look for AMC to keep testing that 1850, and it'll be interesting to see if going into tomorrow if it can break that 1850. It nearly got up. Here it actually did tag through for 2 minutes. But we are at that time now. Gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the day. I will see everybody back over at Clay Bros. Just want to thank everyone who came in today. We had Cassie, Paul, Riptide, Ugandan Toad, DD214, Shredder. Thank all of y'all for coming by. We are at 74 subscribers. If y'all know anyone who might be interested in the channel, let's see if we can make 75 subscribers by the end of the week. That is our goal for the week, and I'm hoping we can pull it off. Hey, Redline, thanks for popping in. Redline got his name in at the shout-outs. When we are on the same page, DD, I feel better about the future. Yep, that is definitely, and that's the thing. I trust, Devil's Advocate, I trust his DD. And looking at it, I'm gonna look and see my position, see if I've got any ones that are in a good 30 to 40% up where I can dump some shares and maybe get some super long calls. We're talking 6 months, 1 year out on PROG. I will play it that far out. The narrow ones just burn down too fast. But I will talk to everyone later. I'll see y'all over on Clay Bros. Hope everybody has an awesome day, and I wish you good health and good trades. I'll catch you next time.